Hey guys, this is Ben Glenn, and it is ADHD Awareness Month, which means this is a dedicated month to learn, listen, and love your ADHD. Yes, I said love your ADHD. Now, I know there are days where you're not going to like being ADHD, but you need to learn to love your ADHD because it's a part of what makes you, you. To celebrate ADHD Awareness Month, I am practicing what I'm preaching. I'm in the middle of reading this book right here by Laura Honos Webb. She's a PhD, and she wrote this book called The Gift of ADHD. Now, I'm sure some of you that are in the midst of the struggles, the battle, the controversy of ADHD, you're probably wondering how in the world can anybody in their right mind, especially a doctor, use the word gift and ADHD in the same sentence, because it just doesn't make sense. Is this the same ADHD that crashed into Victor Maitland's window? Is this the ADHD that used a banana to disable an unmarked vehicle? Is this the same ADHD that wrecked the buffet at the Herald Club this morning? A gift? A gift? I think not. I'm sure for some of you, trying to make the connection between ADHD and a gift it's a stretch. It's a battle for you. But I want to encourage you to check out this book by Dr. Webb. And she really does make an incredible case for changing the paradigm, changing our mind as to the way we see ADHD. In fact, in chapter 1, she touches upon the fact that we need to look at this as more of a difference in a way a person works and thinks and behaves versus addressing it as a disorder. When I was labeled with all of my disabilities, I felt broken. I thought perhaps maybe God forgot some key ingredient when He put me together. And the truth of it is that most kids, when they're given labels like ADHD, feel exactly the same way. How can they not? When you use words like disorder and deficit to describe an individual, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. Something's wrong. Dr. Webb talks at length in her book as to why ADHD is what it is, and how the medical community needs ADHD to fit into a specific system. It's this system that most people are familiar with, a system that looks at ADHD as a deficit and a disorder, something that needs medication to fix. Last week I was in Fort Myers, Florida at a school dedicated to working with students with unique learning differences. And it was amazing to talk with the educators and to meet some of these students, how in a regular school system they struggled. They just battled. In fact, some of these kids came into this new school and they just were so downhearted, so defeated, so hopeless. But through a lot of cognitive therapy and through a lot of encouragement, these kids are now succeeding. These kids now have hope. What is exciting for me, and what should excite and give you hope as a parent with a child with ADHD, or if you yourself have ADHD, is that there are success stories. People are making a shift. They are changing their approach. And people that have ADHD are realizing, you know what, I can be successful. I can do some amazing things. The medical community is going to continue to do what they need to do, to research, to raise the funds in order to figure out more things about ADHD and mental disorders, and that's great. They're going to stick with the system that has worked for them for years. And I think that that's absolutely wonderful. If they can discover more new great things about ADHD and the way for us to understand it better, great. But for you and for me, the individuals that have to live with ADHD on a daily basis, I believe that we need to change our mind. We need to change the way we see ADHD. We need to move away from seeing it as a deficit and a disorder and embrace the way that Dr. Laura Webb sees it, as a gift. To recognize that ADHD doesn't mean you're broken. I've learned for myself that trying is the battle. And if there is no hope, if there is no cure, there's no reason to try. And when it comes to ADHD, though it is a tough road for anybody, it's a fight worth fighting. Because the truth of it is, you're the best. You are the best you there is. And you have great potential. And you can do great things. So let me encourage you. Change your mind and give it a try. Hey, this is Ben Glenn, and as always, keep moving forward. God bless.